What's good, Vikings Nation? Skol. Buckle up, because we've got massive Minnesota Vikings news to unpack today. Our boy Anthony Barr, a true purple legend, just dropped a bombshell that's got the fanbase buzzing. The four-time Pro Bowler, the heart of our defense for nearly a decade, announced his retirement from the NFL, and let me tell you, it's hitting us hard. Back in 2014, when Mike Zimmer took the helm, nobody knew what the Vikings were cooking with that 9th overall pick. Fans were screaming for a quarterback. But Zimmer? He had his eyes on a UCLA beast named Anthony Barr. That choice changed the game for Minnesota. And today, we're diving into why Barr's legacy is pure gold. So what's the vibe? Are you feeling nostalgic or shocked by this news? Stick with me as we relive Barr's epic journey, from his college dominance to his iconic plays in purple. Drop a comment. When did you first realize Barr was a Vikings legend? Let's get into it. Let's rewind to UCLA, where Anthony Barr was straight-up terrifying quarterbacks. This dude racked up 23.5 sacks in his final 2 college seasons, showing the kind of pass-rushing heat that had NFL scouts drooling. Born in South Bend but raised in sunny LA, Barr picked the Bruins over powerhouses like Notre Dame, and that choice set the stage for his NFL destiny. When the Vikings snagged him 9th overall in 2014, it was a bold move. Zimmer didn't just want a sack machine, he saw Barr as a Swiss Army knife for the defense. From day one, Minnesota Vikings news was hyping this kid as the cornerstone of Zimmer's gritty, hard-nosed scheme. Think about it. Could anyone else have filled that role like Barr did? His college tape was pure fire, but what he did in purple, that's next level. Let's keep rolling and see how he transformed our defense. Barr's first season with the Vikings in 2014 was a statement. He started 12 games, racked up 70 tackles, for sacks, and even returned a fumble for a touchdown in overtime against Tampa Bay. First time in franchise history. That play alone had US Bank Stadium shaking, well, figuratively, since it was still being built. Zimmer molded Barr into a do-it-all linebacker, not just a pass rusher. By 2015, he was a Pro Bowl stud, earning PFF's 5th best overall defensive grade among linebackers, with elite marks in pass rushing and coverage. Minnesota Vikings news couldn't stop raving about how he was the glue of our defense. What's your favorite Barr moment from those early years? That overtime touchdown or maybe something else? Hit the comments and let's keep the Skol spirit alive as we dig deeper. From 2015 to 2018, Barr was a Pro Bowl machine, earning 4 straight nods. That's no fluke, Vikings Nation. He piled up 495 tackles, 39 for loss, 17.5 sacks, and 5 picks during his first 8 seasons with Minnesota. This guy was everywhere, stuffing runs, covering receivers, and making quarterbacks sweat. But let's be real, outside Minnesota, some fans only remember Barr for that hit in 2017. You know, the one, ending a certain rival quarterback's season. For us, though, Barr was way more than one play. He was the heartbeat of some of the best Vikings defenses ever. What do you think? Does Barr get enough respect league-wide? Or is he underrated outside our fanbase? Let's talk about it as we move to his next chapter. Barr's versatility was his superpower. Unlike his UCLA days where he was a pure edge rusher, Zimmer had him dropping into coverage, blitzing, and stopping the run. In 2015 alone, he had the 2nd-best pass-rushing grade and 3rd-best coverage grade among linebackers per PFF. That's insane range for a guy 6 feet 5 inches, 257 pounds. Minnesota Vikings news loved highlighting how Barr could do it all. He wasn't just chasing sacks, he was outsmarting offenses, forcing 8 fumbles and recovering 7 in his Vikings career. That kind of impact doesn't show up in every stat sheet but wins games. Can you imagine our defense without Barr's all-around game? Drop a comment on how his versatility shaped those Zimmer-era defenses. Let's keep this train moving. Fast forward to 2022, and Barr took a detour to the Dallas Cowboys. He played 14 games, starting 10 with 58 tackles and 2 fumble recoveries. Solid numbers, but it just wasn't the same as seeing him in purple. Minnesota Vikings news kept tabs on him, and fans were itching for a reunion. Then, in November 2023, the Vikings brought him back to the practice squad after Jordan Hicks got injured. Barr rocked his buddy Eric Kendrick's old number 54, a nod to their UCLA and Vikings brotherhood. He only played 4 games, but that homecoming felt right. Were you hyped when Barr returned in 2023? Or did you want more snaps? Share your thoughts as we look at his final NFL days. Barr's 2023 stint was short but sweet. He played just 48 snaps across 4 games, with a tackle and a fumble recovery, earning a solid 70.6 PFF grade. Minnesota Vikings News called it a quiet but fitting end for a guy who'd given so much to the franchise. At 31, he was still out there making plays when called upon. The reunion wasn't about big stats, it was about legacy. Barr reconnected with teammates like Harrison Smith and Danielle Hunter, and you could feel the respect in the locker room. For fans, it was like seeing an old friend back where he belonged. What did that 2023 return mean to you? Was it the perfect send-off? Or did you want more? Let's hear it as we get closer to his big announcement. On August 4, 2025, the bombshell dropped. Barr's Raise the Barr Foundation posted on Instagram that after 10 years in the NFL, Anthony was hanging up his cleats. Barr confirmed it with a simple reshare, adding a peace sign, heart, and football emoji. Minnesota Vikings news exploded with tributes, and fans flooded socials with love. This wasn't just a retirement, it was the end of an era. Barr played 116 games, racked up 554 tackles, 18.5 sacks, and 10 fumble recoveries across his career. For Vikings fans, he was the soul of the Zimmer defense, a guy who bled purple. How did you react when you saw the news? Drop a comment with your emotions. Shock, sadness, or pride? Let's unpack this moment together. Barr's impact went beyond the field. His Raise the Barr Foundation, launched in 2016, has raised over $250,000 to help single-parent students in Minnesota and California. This guy wasn't just a football star, he was changing lives, giving back to communities that shaped him. Minnesota Vikings News always highlighted Barr's off-field work, like his Walter Payton Man of the Year nomination. From hosting holiday parties for families to funding college grants, he showed what it means to be a Viking in every sense. What's your take on Barr's off-field legacy? Does it make you prouder to be a Vikings fan? Share below as we keep celebrating this legend. Let's talk numbers because Barr's stats are straight up impressive. Over 10 NFL seasons, he notched 554 tackles, 18.5 sacks, 32 pass deflections, and 8 forced fumbles. For the Vikings alone, he had 496 tackles and 17.5 sacks in 107 games. That's a cornerstone player right there. But stats don't tell the whole story. Barr's presence made everyone around him better. Guys like Eric Kendricks and Harrison Smith thrived with him anchoring the defense. Minnesota Vikings News called him a physical freak for a reason. Which stat or play defines Barr for you? Hit the comments with your favorite highlight as we dive into his Vikings legacy. Barr's career wasn't without challenges. Injuries like a torn pectoral in 2020 and a knee issue in 2021 kept him off the field at times. Yet, he always bounced back, like in 2021 when he played all 68 defensive snaps in a wild win over the Lions after missing 18 straight games. Minnesota Vikings News praised his grit, especially in those comeback moments. Barr himself said he felt like crap post-game but loved every second of being back. That's the kind of warrior mentality Vikings fans adore. What's a Barr comeback moment that stuck with you? Share it below as we look at his final chapters. Let's not forget Barr's roots. His dad and uncles played in the NFL, all Notre Dame alums, but Barr chose UCLA and carved his own path. That decision led to All-American honors, a Lott Trophy, and a top 10 draft pick. Minnesota Vikings News saw him as a star from day one. When he hit the NFL, Barr brought that same fire. His 2014 rookie season earned him NFC Defensive Player of the Week honors, and by 2015, he was a Pro Bowl lock. This guy was built for the big stage. How much did Barr's college dominance set him up for NFL success? Drop your thoughts as we near the end of his story. As we reflect, Barr's Vikings tenure is a highlight reel of clutch plays. That 27-yard fumble return touchdown in 2014? Iconic. His 5 interceptions, including a game-sealing pick against the Rams in 2021. Pure clutch. Minnesota Vikings news never stopped singing his praises. But what made Barr special was his leadership. He wore the green dot, calling plays for Zimmer's defense, and mentored younger guys. Even in 2023, at 31, he stepped up when Hicks went down, showing he still had it. What's the one Barr play you'll never forget? Let's hear it in the comments as we wrap up his on-field legacy. Now, as Barr steps away at 33, the Vikings defense faces a new era. With guys like Danielle Hunter and young stars like Dallas Turner, the team's still loaded, but replacing Barr's heart? That's tough. Minnesota Vikings news is already speculating on how the linebacker core will evolve in 2025. Barr's retirement leaves a void, but his legacy lives on. From Pro Bowls to game-changing plays, he defined what it means to be a Viking. And let's not forget his foundation, still making a difference off the field. Where do you see the Vikings defense heading without Barr? Drop your predictions below as we close this out. Alright, Vikings Nation, it's time to salute Anthony Barr, one of the greatest to ever wear purple. From his UCLA dominance to 9 epic seasons with the Vikings, he gave us everything. Minnesota Vikings news will keep his name alive, but it's up to us fans to carry his legacy forward. What's next for Barr? Maybe coaching, maybe growing his foundation, but one thing's for sure, he'll always be a Viking. Let's show him love in the comments. What's your message to Anthony Barr as he retires? If this hit you in the feels, smash that like button, drop a comment, and subscribe for more Minnesota Vikings news. Share this with your Skull Squad, and let's keep the purple pride roaring. Until next time, Vikings Nation, Skull.